call this meeting to order. All right, here. First item of business, welcome of guests. Anything you want to?
Yeah, I had a question on the election, and I don't know whether, I know you're sort of regimented on the way you can ask questions and how you can respond. I don't know if I can talk during the election part, or if I have to say what I have to, my question now, or I know you don't have to respond or whatever, so.
Well, I know that we're not, technically, we're not answering a lot of questions. You get to say a statement, if I understood right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, on this part.
Right. Well, am I going to be able to?
The canvassing of the votes, I think we can give you the results, Robert. I don't know.
But I can't ask the question or anything?
Ask the question, there's not necessarily going to be an answer because that's not an agenda item in that sense, so.
Okay, well,
But yeah, you could ask, I guess, right? Okay. All right, and the first order of business after that then is the canvassing of the votes.
All right, good morning.
Good morning, Lisa.
We did receive the certified results from the county, and they are as follows. For the May 7th Board of Directors election, we have for place 1, unopposed, Indar Singh. He received 115 votes. For place 3, Johnny Stubbs, unopposed, received 117 votes. Place 4, Larry Ceballos, 113 votes. Robert Kemble, 23 votes. And at this time, with those final election results, we ask that they approve the results, giving Mr. Ceballos.
All right. Do I hear a motion?
So moved. Second.
All right. It's been moved and seconded that we approve of the vote canvassing, or the total of the votes,
Yes.
accepting the results.
Yes.
And we set Mr. Ceballos at
Yes.
his district, what number?
Place 4.
Place 4. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign? Okay. Robert, I don't know if this is appropriate, but go ahead and ask your question.
yeah, I just didn't understand some things there. I know that they had sent us that form out to be eligible to vote, you had to fill out, and a lot of the people, you know, I had voted before, and I had some of the producers tell me, no, once you're registered to vote, you don't have to do that, and I had some of the staff and other ones say, yeah, you have to fill that every time. And you know, I had finally got some copies of that, because some of the people said they never received it. And I don't know whether they, you know, I wasn't gonna argue with them, maybe they thought it was junk mail or whatever.
Right.
But a lot of the people thought it was a little, you know what I mean, they didn't know what their legal, it was basically their land that was entitled them to that. And I explained it to them. And what I noticed when I came to vote, I don't know how many of those were turned back in, but when I came to vote, there was the list there that appeared to be the 4,000 to 6,000 people that own property, and that's what they took our names off of. And I didn't see anything on there where if you didn't turn in one of those forms where you would, you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't see anything that was highlighted on there that these people had turned in a form. It looked to me like just basically everybody that had a piece of property in the district would have been eligible to vote.
Right.
And I just want a little clarification on that. I'm not trying to,
All right.
I congratulate Larry, and I like him a lot. And,
Yeah.
and you know, another thing too, I'm sorry I cost the district all that money, and I've already heard grumblings out there that, you know, if you thought you had problems before, wait till now, and I don't appreciate that.
No, there's,
You know, it's
that's not allowed.
there's you know,
there's not any getting even or anything.
I understand that.
Trey?
Yes, this was a Senate bill, as you will know, that Senator Rodriguez sponsored along with, I believe it was Marisa Marquez, the state representative. I went and testified in Austin in regards to this bill, where they wanted the county to hold the elections, and at that time the bill also spelled out exactly what we were to follow, and it was approved by the Attorney General's office in Austin. And it is part of the bill is that people register to vote. Out of, I think, 5,000 and some people that own lands and are qualified to register to vote, we only had 400 and how many registered?
461.
And And everybody that, we sent out a mailer, as you well know, and we posted it and, in the newspaper, both the Ink and the Times, and, you know, there's only so much that we can do to get people to register.
Well, in answer to Robert's question too, it, like Chuy's saying, it was a specific bill mandating that we follow that form that you have to come in and register. And as an example, I didn't get registered and everything that I was supposed to. I didn't find out till the day I voted either, so.
Well, that's fine, I don't understand, the thing I don't understand is this, if there were, so you're telling me that the list, Chewy, that they had here on the desk, that where I voted, and that was, there were only 450 names on that list?
There was 400 and some,
That are eligible.
yeah, they had the master list of who's qualified to vote, who irrigates, who owns property, who pays taxes. They had that list, the master list that
Right.
shows 5,000 and some, whatever they are.
Right, that's what my,
And they had also who had registered to vote,
Yeah.
a list of that.
well, what I saw was the big list, that's where they got my name from.
Well, they had both, and anybody that did not register that came in, voted on a provisional ballot. They call it a provisional ballot. They didn't turn anybody away. They said, you know, we'll let you vote provisional. Of course, those votes,
Well, I only saw one list,
Yeah.
that was what I saw, maybe I didn't look around enough.
well, you should have asked the election judge.
I guess I should
It's
have.
your right, and she would have shown you that.
It's a learning process, I just, you know, it just seemed odd to me,
Second.
and,
Robert, I had a lot of my family did not cast ballots for the same reason. They had
okay,
not
well, I
registered.
just,
Now, in the water district, I think they sent those mailers out to the last known address for the billings, correct?
Yes,
Every
yes.
place that we'd sent a bill. But you're right, I'm sure a lot of people saw that and said, what the heck's that?
Yeah, and we did have, you know, you came in early and you voiced some concerns about some people hadn't heard about it or hadn't gotten their mail, their registration form. I did have those names that you provided. I had Lisa follow up with them, and sure enough, they had gotten their correspondence.
yeah,
But
well, I-
anyway, it's a different system. Unfortunately, the law's a little different, but.
no, I
We'll go
appreciate your
forward.
answer there, it just seemed odd to me, and I thought, well,
But we
gotta ask.
we have to follow that bill exactly
No, I understand,
as it's spelled out,
fine,
and
thank
we
you.
do to the T.
All right, thank you, Robert. All right, next item, let's go on to the report recommendations by Mary Cortez, CFO, concerning financial information. You got the floor, Mary.
On the investment report, we do have two CDs coming up for renewal, which is the one in July and one in August.
Okay.
At this time, we have invested $1 million so far. We are, right now, on the investment report, it shows $2 million. But right now, as of today, we're at 1.7.
Okay.
We do have a few fixed assets that we're purchasing and waiting to come in and pay on. And also, we're waiting on the PSB quarterly payments to come in, as
Okay.
well as the drain maintenance agreement as well.
All right. That explains some of that revenue stuff, yeah. Okay,
Now,
next.
The balance sheet, do you have any
Yeah.
questions on the balance sheet?
Any questions on the balance sheet, gentlemen? You're gonna have to forgive me a little bit. I got brand new glasses with ducks I can't see. I can see fine, and I'm having, they told me it'd take a while, boy.
And also, in
Yeah,
regards,
the
Mr. Aguilar,
transition, yeah,
Trifocals?
yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah.
also in regards to the accounts that we have with FNB, we did receive the letter where West Star was going to take over as of August 5th. Is that right, Mr. Aguilar?
We're trying to get,
Okay. On Fabens, they're officially changing now August 5th? They keep
Correct.
moving that day.
I received a letter
August
a week
5th.
or two ago.
yeah, and I did get a call from, what's our banker's, CEO's name, from Fayette Bank?
Yeah, yeah, if you said it, I'd say yes.
Doug,
McLean, Doug
McLean.
McLean, yes.
Yeah.
I did get a call from Doug, and he explained the procedure, how they were going to merge with Westar, and he had given me a date of July, but then Mary got a letter saying August. And, you know, they were willing to come down and brief us on the merger. Well, we were pretty knowledgeable about it, but Mary does have one concern that she wanted to address with you all.
Right now, we do have an account with Westar, and that was just on the recommendations of our auditors. You have another account at a different bank, just in case anything happened to the bank that we use on a daily basis.
Wow.
But
Okay.
since it's Westar, we're gonna have to move those funds now
Okay.
to a different bank.
All right, but the transition, based on what they're telling you, will be smooth, right?
Yes.
We don't have to close any accounts or anything like that.
No.
They'll honor old checks for a while, I know.
Yes.
And, okay,
Are
so,
they
but
gonna
our,
keep the CD rates the same and everything, or
well,
do we know anything about that yet?
No, I don't think they've established any of that.
but they'll honor our CDs that are already. Right?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
So that's what I'm
Okay.
kinda asking, if they're gonna keep it.
Yes, Doug explained, everything will transfer over, it'll be a smooth transfer. From what I understand, some of the board members from the Fabens Bank Board are moving over to Westar, and so they'll be recognized as board members for Westar,
Okay.
and I couldn't tell you
I
who
think
they are.
Johnny's one.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure. I think Harvey Gilly, I think Bill Skoll.
Yeah, I think
Maybe
there's-
just those
there's a
three?
couple. Yeah, 'cause I banked with both of them too.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Just
Mary's
one-
gonna find another bank? And that's at the recommendation, that's the one that I don't remember. Our accountants are suggesting that during our audit that we have another bank.
Yes.
And the reasoning again was?
We have a little over 300,000 or close to 300,000?
Yeah, 266,000.
Thousand, and we have had that existing account now for, God, I guess a number of, maybe 10 years
Oh, yeah,
with,
here it is, right
with
there.
Westar,
Westar.
that used to be Bank of the West.
Yeah.
And that's just, from what I understand, in case of a bank failure or any type of problem with one bank. So we have a backup plan and backup funds to continue with our work, correct me?
Yes, no, no.
Okay.
One minute.
As long as it says do your due diligence and check it all out, we'd like a local, I think, wouldn't we?
Right.
But you need to do your due diligence on
Right.
that. All right. Because we know some of those big banks nationwide are not as strong as they may appear. Okay, any other questions on the balance sheet? Hmm? Got anything? One on page 3, the very bottom line says unrestricted net assets. Is that where we've done, what exactly is that line? The unrestricted net assets, line 31,200 on page 3 of 3.
The unrestricted is normally like our cash funds that we can use whenever it's needed.
Okay.
The restricted fixed assets is, of course, our fixed assets equipment, and that's a little
All
more
right.
difficult to turn
Alright.
into cash.
And we kept out, what was the accommodation we finally made on as regards to the land and the irrigation system and all that?
The structure improvement,
Yes.
we went ahead and left the amounts of 2001 or 2003.
Yes.
I believe so, 2003 on forward to comply with
With TC, EQ or,
not only with
TNRCC.
TCEQ, but also with the auditing compliance. as
okay.
well.
And everybody was happy with that?
Yes,
Even,
yes,
yeah?
yes.
Yeah.
Everybody? Okay, all right. So that's how we resolve it. So that does not show here on the balance sheet anywhere?
Yes, it does.
Buildings and improvement? No. Where does it show? Where?
12,001.
No, that's not it.
Where's land?
I have
That's
to
this land.
Yes, it should be in Mr. Ivan. I'm
All
going
right.
to look and see why it did not come up in this report.
Okay. As long as gray hair over here approves it, and the accountant, and there was no fist fights to report. Okay. Okay,
Mr. Ivy, our engineer is on the speakerphone, on Jay's speakerphone.
hello, engineer.
Hey guys, how are you?
We're doing okay, Al. All right, Mary, let's see, let's go on to your cash flow budget. Some of those items we're gonna address as we go through the budget
The
reconciliation.
amendment, correct,
The
it's,
amendment,
it's
okay.
the same report as the one
Right.
for the budget.
So I'm gonna save any of my questions for a little later. Anybody see anything on your cash
The
flow?
wages, the regular, are they going down any of this year or have they?
On the wages?
Yeah.
We did have a decline on wages, but lately we, when irrigation season started getting here, we did replace some of those positions that we had vacant. So Robert would have the proper ditch riders to operate the system.
All that.
And then I did go ahead and add, once PSB approved the drain maintenance issue that we had going, I did add the 5 employees that are going to be handling that, so they can start learning the district and start learning the equipment and so on. So we're back, we still don't have, I think at one point we had 118 employees. We have 97 employees.
I understand that, is this,
But we are within budget, and we haven't increased, right, as far as salaries or anything?
at least I'm talking of, at least maybe I'm talking of David only, maybe up to that.
Okay.
Now, he's got 2 days off, are all the ditch riders in the same schedule or what?
Yes. Yeah, well, they rotate, but they do get their days off, and we do have coverage.
I'm getting good at counting, I got 10 fingers.
As you well know, we need 24-hour,
Yeah.
7 days a week,
6
so,
months.
6 months.
so we do have that coverage. And then when we do shut down in the Upper Valley, just because I know that was your next
Well,
question,
yeah. That's right.
we utilize them to better the system in the Upper Valley, where we have projects going on over there. We have some turnouts that we need to replace or repair, and they assist us with that. When need to, we bring them all the way here down the valley, if there's nothing going on up the valley.
Is this the time, I don't know if it's the time of, when is it shut off now, the water?
No, we're still irrigating, we still had enough acreage, and then we had the small tracks that we're getting out of the
Which
way.
is the next,
Right.
don't we know,
We'll shut off on Sunday,
on Sunday?
yes, in the
And-
Upper Valley, for about 7 days. And just depending on, if we get more water orders, more acreage orders, then we'll turn back
No,
on.
don't turn around, man, I'm not for my benefit or
No, no.
but let's try to save as much water as we
Right.
can, you know?
And I
I just
did,
wanted to know, so we can let, some of the farmers sometimes are
Keith's been
glad
bending your ear.
riders, they wanna know
Yeah.
when, how,
Yeah.
and I know the representative from up there has been calling some of our board members, and
Yes,
I did have Robert call him,
okay.
and they had a pretty good conversation yesterday. They went through the whole explanation as I had with him again, and so Robert says he was
And I
sad.
had too, but it may take 3 or 4 or 5
Yeah.
times.
Robert said he left at the end, so that's good.
Really?
news, Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the 500 check detail. Let me ask real quick, the Pinnacle, we don't know, but that's okay, it's one of these, at the bottom of page 2 of 5 is, what is TASC FMLA matters? It says renewal administration fee, what are we talking about?
The FMLA is whenever our employees, it's one of the services for our group health insurance.
Oh, it's part of the, okay,
Correct.
okay.
On 505, what's that spill cleanup you had at
That was, when we turned on up the valley, we had a culvert that plugged up. We didn't have a ditch break, we had an overtopping, and they did catch the water in time to stop it, but we did have some water that went into 3 garages, 3 homes up there. So one of them was worse than the other one. It was closer to the canal, so we had to do a cleanup. And we actually, there was some mold concern from the property owner, so we did call Viva Environmental to help us with that cleanup and use the proper chemicals and so on, of which they did a very good job. I know it's expensive, but that was three big expensive homes. And it was something that really the ditch rider didn't see. It was some tree limbs that fell in from those big alamo trees that run along one of our main structures.
Where about it?
It was right off Lindbergh, I think.
Oh, yeah, it's up at Branch
Oh,
A.
down on the country club?
Yes.
Lindbergh and Montoya Road.
Yes. And you know how close those homes are to
Yeah, they're
our
right
canals.
And those canals are elevated there.
Yeah, so by the time the boys did shut off the water and redirected it, you know, it had gotten into their garages. It never entered the home exactly.
Mary, on page 3 of 5, we got a one paycheck. Dave Galvan, how come we got one paycheck sitting in that 500?
On that one, we did have to administer a manual check for him, because we had some issues with the direct deposit.
Okay, so that's the only reason, yeah, because we never see it.
No.
Okay. Okay. And then the only other, I think I know the answer is the Value Incorporated, or is that professional consulting? On page 4 of 5, about halfway down. It's who? Is that the computer?
David Fuller, helping with the.
Or is that David's name? Okay, gotcha. That's his buildings. Up through the end of March. Okay. All right. Anybody else have any other questions? If not, let's look at the credit card report. Any questions on any of that? Mary, on the telemetry line on yours, I guess you charge some of the telemetry
Yes.
gear that we're getting?
Yeah, we do have our purchasing agent who goes out and tries to find prices that are a lot cheaper than, unfortunately, that we have here at our local stores.
And we had to order a new server for the telemetry. It keeps going down, so we have the server in. We're just waiting for
Wow.
Alan Will to come and install it. It's one of our oldest servers.
All right.
So, in fact, telemetry was down this morning, so.
All over or just at certain sites?
Well, when it goes down through the server, it goes
Oh, yeah,
down
it
through
goes everywhere.
all over, yes.
All right. Legal and consulting fees. Any questions on those? Well, you got Al on the line if you want to ask him anything.
I had it on mute.
Okay. All right, if not, it's time for our budget review. And amending the budget. Okay. Mary, you got the floor again.
I did include this time the revenue report, and there were some adjustments that offset one another. Of course, there was an increase on our water use assessment for the use of water. We had a $476,000 increase. We did have a decrease on our miscellaneous fees on the administrative revenue side. And that was, of course, based on the Bosque Park. Those were the taxes they were estimating to have to pay once they became irritable.
Right. Once they,
That was the, okay.
we had, Al and I had a conversation with John Ballou about bringing in the Bosque as property into the district,
Okay.
where they would irrigate, be able to call for irrigation water, but in return, they would have to pay the
Taxes,
taxes
yeah.
like everybody else does, like property that 5R brought in, Ramon Tiedes brought in some property and so on. So that's what that was.
And what's the rate we charge on that?
It's broken down,
Is, I think,
I guess Al could probably tell us best, no?
it's, $1,000, like $900 an acre.
Yeah. We go back, is it 25 years?
You go back to as far as the
39.
area built finished the Tornado Canal, which was like 1932 or something.
39, yeah, well, the only done, been got back to 39.
Okay, so explain to me again that lost revenue, again, Chewy, say, I missed it.
Okay, so we had given all the figures to John Ballou at PSV. They're still
Thinking about it?
thinking about it, yes. And
Okay.
he just didn't have the money budgeted at the time, but he's got all the figures of what it'll take to bring in the Bosque.
And that's the bulk of that 640?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay. Okay, now I understand. So if they do come in, we may,
yes, and
we can readjust it.
readjust that, correct.
Okay,
Or we might see it for the next fiscal.
Right.
okay. All right. Mary, I'm
So
sorry?
that's an adjustment, a final adjustment, decrease of 232,760. So from 10,699,535 to 10,466,815.
Okay. Okay. Okay, on the expense side,
On the
where are you
expense-
gonna put this, or what are you gonna change?
At the second page, our decrease on the expense side of our budget consists of 1,001,436.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So a proposed amendment of 10,461,634.
Okay.
The majority of that decrease was our capital projects. There were certain projects that we were not able
I
to.
see that. That
Correct.
was 610.
Correct.
And fuel and lubricants are down 300
For the
because
wells.
we're not running the wells as
Yes.
hard.
As much, yes, we're just utilizing them when we need, when the
Okay,
need arises.
okay, because that right there is almost $1 million.
And we have been working on our 5-year plan on construction projects, what we are going to recommend to you all. What we do the first year, we'll be giving a presentation this next board meeting in June on that, on year one only. And then once you all see year one and what we planned and what we think we should go at and do first, then we'll start working. We have worked on 2, 3, 4, and 5, but we want to concentrate on 1 first, present it to you all, and then go from there.
Is that Shot Creek on Unit 6? Unit 6 Shot Creek?
Well, we
Would
actually,
that solve any of that problem?
you'll see there's some gates, head gates that need replacement, that are in very bad shape, that we need to replace first, so you'll see all that in our presentation, yes.
Okay.
And then we do have a plan of 2, 3, and 4, and 5, like I was telling you, and then we'll take it from there and explain to you how we're going to proceed,
All right.
and how much money it's going to cost.
Okay. Larry, Indar, you see anything else?
Nope.
Well, we got Mary on the hot seat here.
I don't know.
I see one thing, you're actually proposing a change in our legal one that, are you serious about that?
And that's the one where we use the module spurring.
Ah,
And at this time.
and so far our billings have not, okay. Don't say anything to Maria. Okay, real quick, just application fees are down quite a bit. Jay, who knows, just,
Yeah, well, typically those, El Paso Water Utilities and Lower Valley Water are usually the ones that submit the most applications, and the Lower Valley's pretty much ceased from submitting anything. I guess their projects, their funding goes through Texas Water Development Board, so they've been kind of limited. And El Paso Water Utilities, I guess they've not had many projects as far as crossing, utilities, but yeah,
And Alan and Jay have done a real good job of educating everyone of when projects are permitted, so usually we'll get a rush between now and September of projects that they want to do this winter. So you might see an increase there, maybe.
Okay.
Just depends on what they have also funding for.
Okay. Mary, I think we've exhausted questions. It seems way too easy.
We propose the amendment on the budget.
All right, so we need a resolution approving our amended budget, correct?
As presented by Mary.
As presented by Mary. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
All right, Larry,
Seconded.
and Indar seconds, that we approve the amended budget as presented by Mary, the 2015-16 fiscal year budget. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Okay, excellent. Closed meeting agenda, we have none. So I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
In our seconds, motion approved. Everybody say aye. Aye.
All right.
Okay, great.